G'day. Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch with Ethan, a travel show all about inspiring young people and their families to get off the couch and into the great outdoors to see the stunning places Australia has to offer. Now in this episode, I'm heading south to one of the most beautiful places in the country. That's right, I'm heading down to Tasmania. Now Tasmania is separated from the mainland by about 500 kilometres, and the best way to get your car across to Tassie to explore it is on the Spirit of Tasmania. It's a ferry that runs from Melbourne across Bass Strait to Devonport. So me hearties, let's set sail across Bass Strait and explore Van Diemen's Land. Well, this is the Port Arthur Historic Site. Port Arthur plays a crucial role nationally and internationally in the epic story of Australia's forced migration and settlement back in the 1800s. You see, Port Arthur used to be a jail, and convicts from all over the British Empire were sent here and they settled Port Arthur. Now today you can see the well-preserved buildings and learn about the thousands of stories from convicts that lived here nearly 200 years ago. So let's go check it all out. Port Arthur was established in 1830 when a British sailing ship was off the east coast of Van Diemen's Land and a storm hit, so they sought refuge inside this bay. Now originally Port Arthur was thought to be a wood harvesting area. There was plenty of trees around, the British could use it for timber. However, in 1833, it was decided that convicts would be shipped into Port Arthur from all around the world, all British colonies, and Port Arthur would become a bit of a reform centre. So rather than just a jail, convicts could actually work their way out of the jail and then become settlers in the new colony of Australia. Learning history out of a textbook is probably a bit boring for most people, but to come out and see these historic sites in all of their glory, now that's interesting history. Now this is pretty spectacular. The next stop on my Tassie trip is here at Mountfield National Park, just west of Hobart in the absolutely amazing Western Wilderness. Now, Mountfield National Park is one of the most visited national parks in Tasmania, and it's for a pretty good reason. There are multiple absolutely beautiful waterfalls like this one behind me here within the national park. Now, Mountfield National Park is actually a part of a World Heritage Area here in Tasmania. And coming out to these areas, such as Mountfield National Park, really gives you a great idea about why these areas are so important and why they need to be preserved for future generations. They really are absolutely stunning.
This is pretty awesome. We've just pulled up on the side of the road along the river near Mountfield National Park, and we've spotted a platypus, and he does not care at all that we're around. He's swimming around here, showing off for us almost. Just climbed up this tree to get a bit of a better look at him, and he is absolutely awesome. There he's just there. Oh, there he is. They are the weirdest looking creatures you'll ever see, but one of the most amazing animals that I've ever seen. It just goes to show you how much we need to preserve these beautiful waterways, because there's so much beautiful nature around, but for like this little guy here that's living, we just need to be really careful about how we do preserve these reserves. For now, this is a pretty awesome place, and he is very awesome. There he is, there he is. This is awesome.
Well, this is Lake Gordon. It's situated right in the heart of the Western Wilds of southwest Tasmania. In fact, it's about as far southwest as you can drive on the island. Now, Lake Gordon, along with Lake Pedder, which Lake Gordon is connected to, forms the largest permanent freshwater body in the entirety of Australia. Now, you can come out to Lake Gordon, you can bring your kayaks, you can throw in a fishing rod and enjoy the absolutely spectacular scenery that Lake Gordon has to offer. Well, Lake Gordon is pretty spectacular in its own right. However, the thing that made this all happen is really just as spectacular. This is the Gordon Dam. It is an absolutely massive structure that spans about 190 metres across and around 140 metres high. And it's this dam that made Lake Gordon all possible. In the 70s, they managed to build this engineering feat of a structure which stopped the Gordon River from flowing, but actually made this spectacular Lake Gordon, which is what we see today. Now, the reason they actually dammed the Gordon River is so they could use the water for a hydroelectric station to create electricity here in Tasmania. Around 90% of Tassie's electricity actually just comes from this dam, and when combined with Lake Pedder, it is the largest body of fresh water in Australia. It's pretty spectacular. One of the best parts about the Tasmanian wilderness is the massive trees that tower, surpassing 70 metres high, forming a beautiful canopy over the understory below. In my opinion, this is what Tasmania is all about. Well, here I am on the Mersey River, one of many beautiful rivers that flow across Tasmania. Now, when you come down to Tassie, you can explore hundreds of different rivers, take your kayaks out, explore the bank lines, keep an eye out for platypus, or have a go at trout fishing. There's really so many great recreational activities that you can do as a family along the rivers in Tasmania. So when you're in the wilderness in Tasmania, it's great to have a good hat because the sun is really hot down here and you don't want to get sunburnt, and it's great to be protected from the sun. But when you get a nice big hat, make sure it's got a string on it, or it fits your head properly, or I don't know, something, so it doesn't blow off and get caught up in the rivers, because you might never see it again. Well, that wraps up my trip down here in Tasmania. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and have found some inspiration to get off the couch yourselves and come down to visit Tasmania. It really is one of the most beautiful places in Australia. Now make sure you head to my website, offthecouchwithethan.com.au, where you can catch up on all the latest episodes, and be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram to keep up to date with my travels. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Teenagers and your families, it's your turn now to get off the couch and come and visit Tasmania. And as always, I'll see you on my next trip. Jeepers, oh my gosh, what the heck? Which formed Lake Gordon, which along with Lake Pedder is the largest oh no. Well, one of the best parts about the Tasmania, what's that? Oh no, don't worry, it's just a skink, sorry. Well, here I am on the Mersey River. Oh gosh, she's dead. Take 78, trying not to fall in the river this time. No. Well, here I am on the